Without beating around the bush, I will straight up go ahead and admit this. Armin Arlert is my favorite character in Attack on Titan. Yes, I love him better than Eren, better than Levi, and even better than Reiner, which is saying quite a lot because I actually do hold all three of these characters in really high regard. But there's something about Armin's presence in the story of Attack on Titan that makes him stand out so much. It is as if an angel has been placed in this demonic and unforgiving world, a world where there is no good or evil, no right or wrong. There is just different sides of the same story. Armin's presence in Attack on Titan feels so important without ever feeling overwhelming. His presence does not command immediate attention like Eren or Levi do, but he is just there in the story, making a lot more difference than a lot of people would like to give him credit for. In a world like that of Attack on Titan, it is the truly good people like Armin who suffer the most. Attack on Titan is about to come to an end, and with chapter 138 having come out, I think this is the best time to make this video. Think about everything that Armin has lost over the course of 4 seasons. He has lost comrades. His best friend Eren chose a path of violence and destruction. He watched Mikasa suffer emotionally as Eren went about his path, and there was nothing that he could really do about it. But of all the things that he has lost, the one that hurts me the most personally is to watch him lose himself. This is Armin we are talking about. The same Armin who, in the very first episode of the anime, refused to fight back against his bullies because he rejected the path of violence. But the world of Attack on Titan does not discriminate. It does not forgive. It is equal to the good and evil alike. This young kid who once refused to fight, we watch him grow as a person as the series progresses. But more importantly, we watch him fight. Despite not believing that violence is ever the answer, Armin understands that in order to ensure the survival of his friends and humanity as a whole, he must do what is expected of him as a person and as a soldier. If I had to choose the most important moment of Armin in all of Attack on Titan, I would personally choose episode 20 of season 1, where Jon questions the methods of Erwin. As Jon begins to doubt Erwin's capability as a leader, considering that the commander does not hesitate to sacrifice dozens upon dozens of his own soldiers to ensure success, Armin says something really important. Those who cannot abandon anything cannot change anything. He understands the fact that in this cruel world, survival of the collective is far more important than survival of the individual. And as long as the ends justify the means, Commander Erwin cannot be blamed for anything. And in Erwin's defense, he did not just sacrifice his own soldiers, but when push came to shove, he made the ultimate sacrifice and let go of his own dream. From the moment Armin spoke those words about abandoning something to change something, the writing was on the wall. This would be a character who was going to be forced to push himself into hell, sacrificing and compromising throughout the way. And this is exactly what happens. Armin goes against his own morals for the greater good. Levi says in chapter 137 of the manga that he has no regrets about entrusting everything to the boy who had the same look in his eyes as Erwin did, and I wholeheartedly agree. Armin and Erwin are more alike than what comes across at first glance. They both are people who, at the end of the day, do what's necessary, even if they do not personally agree with their own methods. It is tragic to see Armin slowly becoming the kind of person that he despises in the beginning of the series. The scene where he manipulates Bertolt by talking about how Annie is being tortured, the scene where he shoots a person for the first time, or the scene where he pops out of his colossal titan to look at the lives that he has taken. Armin slowly loses himself throughout the series. He sacrifices his own beliefs and morals to do what's necessary, to do what is expected of him. And what makes things even more sad is the fact that almost every time that Armin has had to sacrifice his morality and belief system, it has been because of his own best friend, Eren. He manipulated Bertolt to save Eren. He killed his first victim with a gun to save Jon, but even that started because the government wanted Eren and Historia. And while up until this point, Eren was the reason for Armin to push himself beyond his morality, he was not the direct catalyst for it. However, that changes in season 4. Eren's plan to invade Marley without consulting the scouts forces Armin to transform into the Colossal Titan and take hundreds, if not thousands of lives. As he comes out of his Colossal Titan, you can see the look on his face. That is the face of a person who is just moving forward to do what's necessary, even though he himself is not sure if he believes in that anymore. The look on Armin's face as he extends his hand to help Eren inside the airship really makes you question, how far will Armin push himself for his best friend? How long can one man keep compromising his own morality for the sake of someone else? But even then, Armin believes in Eren. Even after Eren escapes the prison, Armin still believes that him and Mikasa can maybe talk to Eren. The reason for Armin's pain, his sacrifices, his suffering, the reason for everything that he goes throughout the series is his unwavering belief in Eren. He truly believes in his best friend even when no one else seems to. In chapter 133 of the manga, when Eren summons the Alliance into the paths, Armin was the first person to speak and unsurprisingly tells Eren to stop, saying that Paradis was going to be safe now. But of course, Eren does not stop. He keeps moving forward, and Armin slowly comes to realize that maybe, just maybe, his friend was actually irredeemable. All of this comes crashing down on him in chapter 136, where he is alone in the paths. It truly broke my heart when he says that he has always hated himself. In his own words, he believes that he is privileged to have this life, these expectations and these responsibilities, but is ashamed that he has not been able to return the favor. It is as though he feels lucky to have been the one that Levi chose to revive instead of Erwin, and yet he feels as though he has not been able to live up to the burden of just being alive, of not being able to give anything in return for this life that he has. This is a boy who gave up on everything that he believed in and kept moving forward, doing things, taking lives, committing atrocities that he did not want to, all because he believed in his best friend, all because he believed in Eren, and yet now he has broken. He admits that he no longer understands Eren. In chapter 138, the two best friends engage in one final battle. As Eren's Colossal Titan goes up against Armin's Colossal Titan, we know that Attack on Titan is finally coming to an end. And with that, so is Armin's character arc. Armin has accepted things as they are. He has accepted that as much as he loves Eren, the person in front of him needs to be stopped. In his own words, if he cannot stop Eren, then he will follow him right until the end, straight into this hell that Eren seems to love so much. Armin is the true product of Attack on Titan, an example of what happens to the good people in this world. Someone who rejected the idea of violence at one point, forced to murder, fight and manipulate people, all because he wanted to come through for Eren, only to realize in the end that he was always right, that in order to change something, he has to abandon something, that in order to save humanity, he has to abandon his own humanity. It is impossible to not feel bad for Armin, because when you really think about it, this was always how things were going to pan out for him. Eren is a pragmatist, someone who believes in finding solutions through a more practical approach to reach his goals. Armin, on the other hand, he is an idealist, a thinker whose only dream was to see the ocean. The ocean for him symbolized freedom. His version of freedom was not absolute like Eren's version, and these two completely conflicting philosophies were always bound to collide. As Attack on Titan picks through the seasons, Armin sheds away more and more of his morality. It is a true tragedy to watch it happen over the seasons, and I do not know whether or not the final chapter of Attack on Titan will pull a new form of surprise, but whatever happens, it will not change anything that Armin has gone through. Everyone in Attack on Titan has lost something or someone, but Armin has lost the most. He was just a boy, the boy who lost everything, the boy who lost himself.